Hey guys, it's Heather the Crochet Witch. How are you guys doing today? So I have another episode, another installment, another instance that I wanted to bring to you for a little thing that I have been calling crafting happiness. Because honestly, between the stress that I have been going through with like mostly work and everything, work has been it's a big block of it, but lately. But like I had some issues before. And what I had decided to do to kind of like cope with that, to keep myself in the crochet spirit, etc. For those of you who have been around, for those of you who know, I am a very big fan of vintage yarn. I'm a very big fan. I have, over my time, had I think, quite the collection. And like what I like to do is there are a few different colorways that I've got very multiples of finally, because I want to do a big project with them. But I've also gotten one or two skeins of some, especially the ombre type of variegateds, where there's like if it's a red ombre, there's different shades of red and then a white, right? And then different shades of like blue and then a white. Or just different. Like I love the variegateds from, the 60s, 70s, 80s, what have you, because they were such quick little color changes, and they were beautiful. Yes, some yarns are scratchier than other yarns. Sometimes they soften up, etc. But what has been really keeping me just happy and working at random has been a project that I wanted to share with you. For if you have not seen these, this is my working like basket. We'll dig into it, but this is my working basket that I've got going on, and you can see some granny squareage going on, right? I have decided to take my one or two ofs and make granny squares, because a granny square blanket would be like a really vintagey pattern that's easy to just take on the go, to get like a skein done, see how many squares you can get, etc. I'm thinking I might try to collect up enough like black or gray or brown vintage yarn in the same shade, as far as like brown or something would go, or gray, to connect them when I get to the point where I'm ready to connect them. But this is going to be a long project, a big blanket, just basically something to unwind me. It's not going to be, there's no pressure of when I want to get finished or etc. It's for me, so it's not like it's going to be, I have to have it done by my birthday or by Christmas or, by so-and-so's anniversary or, anything like that. It's just something to keep me calm, keep me happy, keep my spirits up, because it makes me very happy to work with some of this yarn. Now some examples, and I said we'd dig into this, some examples in the past, and I have some like yarns kind of on board to start with. I will show you those in a minute. I have had in my older pile, I see I have some yarns, some tails to sew in. I thought I had sewed in all my tails before I did this video, but like I have done this colorway, which I can't tell you right now at this moment, but I know I have more of this. But this colorway reminds me of, first of all, I'm a very big Stranger Things fan. Anybody who's been around, I would hope you would know that by now about me. My Hopper cabin blanket here might tell all with that, or my shirt, obviously. But this reminds me of the arcade, the Palace arcade, for some reason. Just maybe the bright lights and the neon and the windows, and I don't know. But I have like quite a few of those squares. I've showed these off before, but I had managed to get like 8 of those done. Some of my older ones that I've gotten from like Goodwill were just in balls, but I had like shades of yellow, And I think, like, for example, that was just a ball of yarn. So I had only gotten three out of those. So I'm just doing 5 round granny squares with an H hook. I did have to go down to a G hook with this just because the yarn itself worked up, like, the squares were quite bigger. Like, some of the squares that I do, I recognize are going to be like a little off in color or whatever, or in size, I mean, depending on the color. But those were quite big. So I had to, go down a hook size. They're a little bit plumper, but it's okay, right? So if you want to look back and see some of my older videos for the Crafting Happiness, you'll see all of the different shades that I've gotten done so far. There's some brown multis. This one I love. This one forever reminds me like of, a grandma's couch or something hidden away in the basement. I love the way it worked up. I love everything about it. Some of the newer colors, well, they're all still vintage, but the ones that I have worked up recently, let me put it that way, that I had not shown you yet, I worked up one of my purple variegateds, and I do have a second one of these, but I also had to scale down my hook size with this one because it was a little bit plumper, and the squares still worked out just a little bit bigger, but they're not going to make a big difference. But this is what I was talking about with the 70s, 80s yarn. Like, look how pretty it works up just with the different shades of purple and then the white mixed in. I think that's so pretty. I do have a second one of these, but from the first skein of it, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like I got 6 of these. And I did get all of the tails sewn in. So I got 6 of those. And then my pink shades right here, which I love, pink and the white with the darker wine colored, the variegated. This one was actually, the name of it was Chianti, which, if you are the Stranger Things fan that I am, you'll know that's the wine that Hopper had an issue with the name of, like, that he didn't pronounce correctly. It's Chianti. So that just made me giggle when I got this yarn and I saw that was its name. I will probably forever remember that. I did get the tails sewn in here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9. It looks like I got 10 out of this one, which is great because I only had one of these. But those are my Chianti squares. I am in love with these. And then the squares that I have the tails still too, I really thought I'd sewn them in. I'm sorry. So, because I usually do the tails as I go, or like at least as the group is finished, I get it done. So I thought I did that. But it's this, I don't remember the name of it, but I want to say it was just a baby ombre. But there's the different pastels and the white mixed in there too. And I got, let me see here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 11. I got 11 out of that. The pastel ombres or baby ombres or whatever it was called. There we go. So I got 11 of those. Those need the tails wound in, or woven in, wound in. So then, one of the yarns that I had on board that I thought I might make into squares, since I only had one, was this beautiful Red Heart Maypole that I had gotten a hold of in this rainbow, like, tweed. Look how pretty. So I thought that might end up as squares. We'll see. I haven't dedicated fully to that idea, but that is in the basket. And then the 2 onboard colors that I have right now also are a knitting worsted type ombre Sayal in the color brown ombre. So, I love the ombres, right? And then the same with the green, it's in the color grasshopper. And because the other one was the same brand and everything, was called Chianti, I don't know if this is for the actual insect grasshopper or if maybe it's for the drink, the grasshopper, because I know that was kind of big back in the day, right? A grasshopper. That was the green alcoholic beverage. So maybe they had a grasshopper and Chianti, but I had started one square that I got done with that. So that's how the square is working up. And then once the screen is done, my plans had been to move on to the brown, which will work up a little bit differently than this one because it doesn't have the same shades of orange and such in it. And I love that one so much. Let me put this away because then I have two new, well, it's been a while since I recorded videos. They're not new acquisitions anymore, but I cut them open and I have not taken them out or played with them or anything yet because I wanted to show you guys and I wanted to show you guys in this video. But I got a couple more eBay yarns. This one, like I said, I did cut them open. This one is from the same seller as most of the ombre yarns that I got. It's the same seller. She's lovely. And I had my eye on this color in several different auctions. This is my first time pulling this out. Oh, there's a purple. There's a purple random thread. Let me grab that off of there. Look at this beautiful, this is called Rainbow. And it is also a knitting worsted type ombre sayal from Kmart. I think this lady had a big collection of her own and she's selling it off because either that or she went to an estate sale and got all of these that she's been selling, all of these ombres from Kmart. I think these were like buddies on their shelf together and she is just selling them off. And I am happily apparently buying up her collection because I look at these beautiful 70s. Does this just not say like 70s Technicolor Wonder Woman almost? I know there's orange in it too, but like almost like a Wonder Woman color. I can't wait to work that up and see how that looks. And I know it's called Rainbow even though it doesn't have like a green or a purple in it, but it's beautiful and I absolutely am in love with it. And I got two of these bad boys. I was so excited to see that she had two of them just together. So I snapped them up from her shop. I'm so happy. So happy. So actually these might even go as the next thing that I do, at least one of them, because I really love them a lot. So excited. So Anna can get rid of this now. There's her thank you card that was in there. Same lady always sends the same like thank you. I always get from her whenever I see something like that in her shop. And then this was my other, I can't believe I waited this long to show you. Some of you may be familiar with this Goodwill yarn that I got. It was already caked up. It didn't have a label. I had no idea what it is. I had finally decided to just make it into whatever squares I could. And I had only gotten 4 of them. I got 4 squares out of this yarn. I think it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful with the white mixed in with brown and like this reddish, it's like almost like a reddish copper and then gold. I had only gotten 4 because I got like maybe like two done. And then if you remember, I'm pretty sure I showed you, I did 2 more, but there were probably like 12, 14 ends sticking off here because the yarn ended up coming out in sections that were just long enough to get like 2 clusters done, and then that was it. But I was determined I was going to get squares out of it. Well, that was finally just like my breaking point was the 2 extra squares to give me 4. But what I did with the lengths, because there was basically just enough to do a center. So I had decided if I find a different yarn that is kind of similar like that, where I've only got pieces of it, maybe I could add on to these squares. But there's a bunch down in here, but I mean, I have bunches of 1 round squares because I couldn't bear to not like to let just toss this yarn, and it looked like somebody maybe cut it up for like tassel and never made tassel out of it, or maybe at one point they did, and they like tied it all together and just caked it up. But me and knots, and I just couldn't do that. So I undid every knot, and I have a bunch of centers. And I have just ongoing, never-ending, obsessively been searching to try to figure out what yarn this is. I think I found it, guys. One night, there was an auction for multiple vintage, like not the same color, I mean, just a ton of different. And there was one skein in here that looked like this. And I knew it had to be it. It had to be. So I bid on the auction because I was like, I have to get it, right? I have to get it. I was insane for it. And this was a little while ago, so I mean, it's long over now. But then it struck me, why don't I just try looking up this yarn again? Well, I found an auction. And this is my first time opening this box too. I got this little box. As you can tell, I won this auction. You guys, 4 of them. And tell me that's not the same yarn. I'll open up the plastic in a second, but tell me upon first glance, tell me that's not the same yarn. And I will say I don't believe you, because right now I think that I have found it, okay? I'm sorry, we're about to crinkle for a second here, because it is well packaged. I really hope, they're kind of like Goodwill, I guess, except in Goodwill you can pick it up before you buy it normally. Sometimes they're packaged too, though, and you just don't know, you might get a really bad batch of yarn. Nope, I don't think there's anything wrong with the way this smells, so we're going to pull one out. I do like to examine them just in case. Oh, of course, at the moment I am so ecstatically thrilled. Like, words cannot describe. I am like checking it out. I think we found the winner, you guys. I do. We'll set this in the box. And needless to say, I was really hoping that I would be outbid on the other auction that only had the one of these, and I was, thankfully, at the last minute. So somebody else got that, because I did not want all of it wasn't all vintage and all of my style, and it just wasn't. So I'm very glad that somebody else won that. But this, now that it's out of the package especially, tell me that's not that yarn, you guys. I have to work one up to know for a fact, I guess, but it should work up just like this. I am pretty positive that we have a match. Let me introduce you. This is Coats & Clark's Red Heart Windtuck knitting worsted type yarn. It has a net weight of 3.5 ounces, and it is a 4-ply yarn. It is 100% virgin Orlan acrylic fiber, machine washable and dryable. Laundering instructions on reverse side. Manufactured by Coats & Clark, Stamford, Connecticut, 06902. It is in the color Fiesta. So, Red Heart Windtuck yarn in the color Fiesta. And I have 4. I have 4 of these. I'm ecstatic. Like, I cannot begin to tell you how excited I am. I don't know if you've got that from me right now, but this is excited for me. It's 7:30 in the morning. It's a little late even for me to be, because this is still my nighttime. Like, the daylight is breaking, but I had to do this video because I was like, I'm doing videos again. I'm recording. I have to do this. I found it, you guys. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Even my voice is like not with me today, but I'm so excited. Um, but now I have decision making because that means I have 4 of these and I know what kind it is, meaning potentially in the future I might be able to find some more of it. So do I want to just let these 4 go into my blanket, these 4, and then whatever else I may end up finding to go around these, and do an actual project over here? Because I feel like 4 of these mixed in with some of the like one-ofs and things would overkill it. But I think this would make a beautiful project on its own, or mixed with like a solid color. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. But I had to show you guys that I found it because I'm so excited. Like just between this and when I finally found that brown and yellow and orange one, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So there we go. That is my update. I just wanted to share that with you. I hope that there is something that, like, if it's not vintage yarn, that's totally fine. We're all totally different, but I hope there is something that just makes you happy, that there's a happy project that you can go to or that you've been thinking about doing. I suggest that you do it just to keep you like calm and happy. Like I guarantee you I'm gonna like open one of these, I'm gonna start on one of these and it's just gonna relax me and it's gonna make me so happy. And it's like I'm probably gonna watch Stranger Things when I work on it, or some 80s TV, like watch some more of my Magnum PI. I've been loving that lately too. Or just any of my 80s shows or movies. It just transports me back in time and it makes me so happy. And yeah, so that's, when I work on that, that's what I think of. But I definitely had to share that with you guys. So for now, I'm going to let you go. But yeah, I found it, you guys. I'm very sure I found it. So very happy Heather over here. All right. I will talk to you guys later. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in. Bye, guys.